Hello and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you all very, very much for tuning in as always. It was inevitable. It was absolutely inevitable that this next stage in the attack and the onslaught against fan channels was going to take place. Absolute dots on the cards that the threats, the aggression, the abuse would turn physical. And there was a lot of rumours circulating last night in relation to one of the individuals involved with the United stand. I do believe it's one of the cameramen, Josh, was physically attacked. He was assaulted by a man wearing a balaclava in front of the police, I will add. In front of the police, I will add. And obviously Flex has come out and confirmed this to everybody today. We've also had this confirmed to us, a little bit earlier. I mean, this is a tweet from Flex as well that came out a little bit later on, where he says, imagine some fans are laughing at a Man United fan attacking a cameraman. They're the same people that are saying stop being toxic and spreading hate. He said, I feel sorry for people like this. I hope they can change as people and find love in their hearts for their own sake. And I concur completely and utterly with what Flex is saying there, because at the end of the day, these people, I don't actually think they have an issue with Fancams, with YouTubers in general. I don't think that's where their problems really lie. It's just a new thing to be angry at, somewhere else to aim their bile at, to be aggressive with, as an example. Many of them consistently demonstrating their own bigotry, their own hatred, their own annoyance at certain aspects of society, seeing young, successful black men on screen. Yes, let's not beat about the bush, making money off of an industry that between them, myself, and many other people, we've created. This wasn't something that we're going to try and get into it. This has literally been born from nothing. And people cannot stand seeing success, especially the success of young black men across the United Kingdom. There's no doubt about it in my mind whatsoever. Original Waistbandy with a super chat here says, been waiting for this. Guy should be named and shamed. And I agree completely. And the thing with this is, it's not the only sort of tweet. It's not the only kind of aggression. Sorry, it's not the only thing that's been seen as aggression that's been out there. We showed you guys the other day the sort of attacks and everything that's going on and coming out amongst everybody else. There are some things here. Hopefully I put this tweet up. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to go and find it. Actually, I'll go and find it for you guys now. But there was another tweet that I saw this morning. I'm going to go to I liked it because I like the tweet, not because I agree with it, but because it was a case of saving it. And this is from a guy called Andy Chop. And I'm gonna. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it onto the screen. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it onto my screen right now, live, while we're talking, so you guys can see the kind of thing that's going on. And these are the types of people that we're talking about here. And this person's used his real name in his account. So you've got Saeed, who has commented on Aaron's tweet talking about the coward that attacked them. He says, we are the toxic fans. These are hooligans and need to be kicked out of football, period. Nothing wrong at all with what Saeed has said. And just look at the abuse here. Like, fat W, hopefully you'll be next. Literally making these threats. And now this is who the guy is. This is him here, and this man's got children. This man is responsible for developing the upbringing of human beings. And he's out there tweeting people, hoping that they get attacked and beaten up. It's an absolute madness. So for me, these things can be tackled. And I understand freedom of speech. And I'm not a lawyer. But I don't believe that freedom of speech allows you to wish harm on people. I don't believe it allows you to try and orchestrate harm against people. That much I'm pretty certain about. You cannot go around hoping, wishing, or trying to orchestrate violence against people. And this is the thing, right? We're not in a court of law here. We don't have to be able to prove something beyond reasonable doubt. When you grow up where I did, I grew up in the East End of London, there's a way you can threaten people without directly saying, we're going to come and beat you up. Whenever you hear any of these amoebas speak about fan channels and say, we're going to stop you, and they get challenged, well, how are you actually going to stop them? When their response is, we have our ways, we'll do what we've got to do, everybody who understands life knows that will physically stop you. Now, that is illegal. And this is being orchestrated. This is being hepped up every single game. And exactly what I said after Robbie was attacked. Exactly what I said a couple of days ago after United Stand were attacked the first time. This is going to get physical. And it now has a cameraman has been headbutted, by another Man United fan who was wearing a balaclava. Absolutely shocking scenes. It truly is. What we will just take a quick look at, and we'll remind ourselves of the first time in the last few days that the United Stand were ambushed, I will say, by the United fans outside a stadium.
Bankrolled by bigger companies, media companies. We're not bankrolled. Like full-time devils are bankrolled. We're the same thing. It's just for views. It's for views. It's your opinion. I'm on the news. You like it on the news. His own opinion is that he doesn't think that Solskjaer's Batman falls. That's his opinion. Why? It is his opinion.
I give all this man.
You know what he said? He said because he said his own opinion.
Not beer. He's like, fuck you lot, fuck you.
No, I don't get.
Fuck you lot.
I'm not going to have a conversation right now. I wanted to have a conversation with you.
Pack the swearing in. Pack the swearing in. Right?
You'll see there, you saw the aggression, you saw the anger. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know. Now, I'm not saying these two gentlemen, and I'm gonna call them that because I'm gonna try and be as civil as I can be. I'm gonna try and be the bigger person here. I'm not saying that they are the two or anyone they know were the perpetrators in this attack on Josh, the cameraman. But it's the hundreds of people. And by the way, go through the comments of our last video. Nearly 50,000 people have viewed it. And there are lots of comments supporting the action of fans attacking them. And you get a lot of these people that say, oh, it's not an attack. It was just verbal confrontation. Okay, that's how these things escalate. And I've spoken about this in football for a long time. When we allow, I said it before, right? When you get to the type of abuse we don't accept, i.e. sexism, racism, xenophobia, fans escalate to those levels when they're allowed to get away with general abuse without being challenged. So when these people go online and go, look, I know some people are condemning us, but the only people that are condemning us are the individuals that like watching the United Stand. Look how many people are telling us we're right and they would do it and we should do more to stop these fan channels from being active. All that does is empower them. And like I've said already, where are the mainstream media coming out? Because they have so much power and strength. Where are they coming out and defending the Fancams? Where are Man United? Where are Wolverhampton Wanderers? Where are Everton? Where are Arsenal? Where these things have happened? Where are they coming out and defending the rights of these? By the way, whether you like Flex, whether you like Rance, like Saeed, like Aaron, they are fans. They are paying fans that go to these games. Where is their protection? They have absolutely every right to come out and speak on camera after the game and express their thoughts and feelings on the game. I don't agree with a lot of things those guys say about Man United as an example. Don't agree with it. But not for 1 minute do they deserve to be attacked, stopped, shut down, harassed. I don't even, by the way, agree with some of the words and choice language they've used to talk about Ollie or talk about Rashford. You know, when they call them names, when they swore about them, when they've been abusive towards them, I challenge that. But you challenge it back with decorum. You challenge it back by articulating your points. You challenge it back by being a bigger person. If you think somebody's stooping too low, the response to that isn't to turn around and drop even lower into the gutter if you believe that's what they're doing. If you believe they're being absolutely abhorrent about Ollie, you going up to them and headbutting them, and by the way, headbutting the cameraman who says nothing is an absolute madness. That is no way to act. There is no excuse for violence. There is no excuse for threats. Go on camera with them and have a debate. Go off camera with them and have a debate. Challenge them verbally. Use your brain. Use the strength. Use what you've got up here rather than trying to punch someone in the face. Because even if, do you know what? Even if you've got 2 or 3 points about their actions, their style, their approach. Flex and Goldbridge and Rants, they're more likely to listen if you have an amicable conversation with them. But I know these people, and I'm going to jump into your live comments in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I know these people have absolutely zero want, no want at all to have a civil conversation. Tony Briggs, the gentleman who made his own video, you know, threatening AFTV, telling them that they want them out, telling everybody how toxic they are, also spreading lots of lies in that video as well about Troops' relationship with Chris, the way Claude abuses Ty, so much nonsense and lies. He was very angry that myself and Neek sat here and discussed his video. By the way, his video that he was like, oh, you didn't represent me well enough. You posted a video publicly. I'm giving you my interpretation of what you said, and I stand by my words of that video. He came across like a thug. I offered him the chance to come on the show and have his say. Actually, let's go back to the beginning. This is really, really important. I tweeted him the day that me and Nick spoke and said, can we speak? Can you DM me? I'd like to have a conversation. I want to offer you a right reply. A week or so went by. He didn't come back to me. I heard nothing from him. He then tweeted a lie, telling everybody that he'd emailed me numerous times and I hadn't responded. He tweeted me, or he tried to contact me on social media numerous times as well, and I was ignoring him. I'd misrepresented him. He had a few people say, oh, that's what they do. See, they're liars. I checked my email, found an email from him that had been sent like 10 minutes before he posted the tweet, replied to it saying, just seen this. I have searched my Gmail account. No other emails have come in from you, unfortunately. I gave him some options to come on the show or to speak to me in private via the telephone, as an example. He made a sarcastic point in the public tweet that I wouldn't have him in the studio because he might smash it up. That isn't what I said. My studio is in my house. Someone who behaves like that, I'm not going to have him in my house where my children sleep. Don't know you, don't trust you. The way you behave makes me slightly nervous, and I'm not going to put my family in danger. I'm not worried about myself, but my family. Of course, I think that's a reasonable thing to say. All he wanted to do was reply on Twitter. So I started direct messaging him and emailing him, and he very rarely come back to me. In the end, he did on direct message. But the way he was talking to me on direct message was very different to how he was talking publicly. Clearly trying to orchestrate another argument, another fight. I kept on saying, look, if you're not happy with how I represented you in a video, come on air and have it out with me, or we'll have a civil phone conversation. You can tell me why I'm wrong. If you can show me the error of my ways, I said to him, I'm more than happy to come out and do a public apology in a video to say, sorry, I misunderstood what you meant. Didn't want to engage in that way. And that is what I would say about all these people. I think that the vast majority of them who want to shut down the United Stand, AFTV, that have become aggressive, that are making threats, that are now physically attacking these people, I don't think they've got any want to have a civil conversation, to debate out a situation, to let you have your say. They simply want to take out their own frustrations from their own lives, and they see these people as an easy target. They see fan channels as an easy target, and then to perpetuate the situation within some of them, they see young black men becoming successful. It rattles them up something rotten. They can't handle it. They find it, I think it offends them in some weird and peculiar way. And it's just a massive, massive shame. It truly is a massive, massive shame that this is even going on in 2020 as we find ourselves now. I am going to jump into some of your live comments because I want to know what you're all thinking. I want to know what you're feeling. And just as I said before, another video where we're challenging this behavior towards fan channels, and guess what? They demonetize us again. We now have to go for a long 2-day appeals process to get that turned around. They do whatever they can. They demonetize us and they will kick us off our normal algorithms. You guys hitting that like button, you guys sharing this on your social media platforms is the only way to cover this and get this message out there. Let's see a few more comments on here. If these white guys were racist, then why haven't they been charged? Well, Time Bandit, this is what I would say to you on that question is some people's behavior stems from a place of bigotry and prejudice. You have to be able to prove it, though, for people to be. There has to be you can make an accusation and somebody gets arrested, but arresting someone is only just a start. To get file charges and for people to go to court and for people to be prosecuted, there does have to be evidence beyond reasonable doubt. That's the way the justice system in the United Kingdom works. Like I've said before, if I say I'm going to shut down the United Stand Fancams this weekend, and you ask me how, and I say I've got my ways with a cheeky smile, everyone knows I mean I'm going to try and physically stop them. But that can't be proven in a court of law because I haven't said it. The same thing works when it comes to the racial side of things, that, you know, you can have a prejudice towards a certain particular amount of people, but there does need to be tangible evidence to back that up from a point, from a angle of law. But as people, we can see it, you can smell it, you can hear it. Often it's, you know, the fact that the guy in the video that we showed you a minute ago started to mimic the way Saeed talks, that in itself demonstrates to you that he has an issue with the person and what the person is, as opposed to the points that he's making. It's as simple as that. You know, if you start mimicking someone, when you're angry, if you're having jokes and you're bantering people, it's one thing. But if you're angry with someone, you start mimicking their voice, you mimic anything about their person, which is what makes them them. For me, that's coming from a place of bigotry, no doubt about it at all in my mind. Let's see a few comments here. You unfairly misrepresented another man's video and never cared to engage him or at least give him a chance to defend himself. Victor, everybody's got the chance to come on this show and speak. Nobody is exempt from that. Maybe not in the studio, like I've said. And it's not about unfairly misrepresenting something. If you post a video publicly and you are threatening people, you're being aggressive towards somebody, I'm going to interpret that how I interpret it. Your job is to then come, if you, and by the way, it wasn't just me. Thousands of people interacted with that video and said that it was aggressive, thuggish, he come across like a hooligan. So it isn't just me making that up. If that comes out, then repost another video and explain what you meant. Explain, you know, disavow people that are threatening violence. Come out and categorically say that we are in no way, shape or form endorsing violence. Come out and do that. Distance yourself from it. But if you notice how that's not been done by the vast majority of these people making these threats, they're not coming out and condemning that. And you should be. So from my point of view, I think maybe some of these people posting videos wouldn't directly engage in the violence. But where are they coming out and saying that it's wrong? Where are they coming out and saying, hang on a minute, I would accept somebody's opinion who says, I want these fan channels shut down, I don't think they're good for the fan base. You're entitled to that opinion. I don't respect that person if they then don't come out and disavow the violence. And we see this on a political level. I don't believe in a number of political ideologies. I wouldn't vote for a certain group of political parties. But when I see violence against them, whether it's throwing milkshakes, whether it's throwing eggs, whether it's them being punched, whether I've seen Antifa attacking them and beating them with sticks, what makes me even more angry is where I see the opposition of these parties come out and completely and utterly ignore it, endorse it in certain situations, and definitely not disavow it. As soon as I see that, I lose respect for you as a political figure. The same thing works here with football fans. It's the same notion. It's the same thought process. If I don't see you come out and condemn the violence, condemn the threats, condemn the aggression, condemn the bad language, condemn the lies, you are part of that problem. Simple and as straightforward as that for me. Thank you for the super chat. The channel really does need it, Andrew. This says they should turn the tables and invite them on to voice their opinions. But I would warn them to be civil. Well, anyone who's made a video, anyone who watches this who is against fan channels, against YouTube channels, they've got the right to come on and have their say on my channel, on anybody's. We'll do a Skype call, we'll do a telephone call, whatever you want to do. Bear in mind, I will record whatever, even if we do it privately, I'll record it. I'll record it, and the only reason I would never release it, the only reason I would record it is based on the fact that in case one of you then tells a lie about me, oh, Terry said this, Terry said that. Oh, no, I didn't. You know, I've had a lot of conversation with other YouTubers. Some of them I don't really get on with. We have conversations. I record that stuff. I've never released it. They know that, because if I'd released it, it'd be out there. It would have trended with some of the conversations we've had. I record it simply to protect myself against lies. I would do that, but everybody's got the right to reply. This is from Ashley, who says, fan channels need to unite for strength. Blood Brothers series is a microscopic example of unity working. A fan channel union could have a mainstream voice. Ashley, do you know what? I've been talking about this for a long, long time. Fan channels do need to come together more. You know, I had a couple of people private message me yesterday from some fan channels thanking me for the videos I've done recently challenging this stuff. I suppose where the frustration lies is that those same fan channels haven't publicly shared my message. Now, they've privately endorsed what I've said, but they've not publicly done it. And a lot of fan channels still fight and argue and debate against each other when actually they're on the same side here. And I completely and utterly agree that we should do more to support each other. We should be sharing each other's content. We should be sharing each other's articles. We should be doing a lot more retweeting and backing and supporting of each other. But what you find is you get all these little cliques and groups that, you know, work with each other, and they're all friends and they all back each other. They might agree with what I've said in the video or what Mark has said or what True Geordie has said, but there's very rarely an endorsement. There's very rarely a pushing. Everybody's got big followings, big community pages, big Twitter accounts, Instas. Sharing it and pushing out that agenda is what will help. We're not in risk of going away anywhere, but it shows a united front. It suddenly starts to unite hundreds of thousands, if not millions of viewers, lots of personalities and peoples. And it shows that we're not going to be bullied and we're not going to tolerate this. However, I don't think that will happen because still there are too many of the fan channels that they're very scared to share their little pie with anybody else. The irony in that is that I'd rather lose 50. If someone said to me, Terry, you're going to lose 50% of your pie, but the pie is going to grow by 1,000%, I'd give up half of it tomorrow because we're all growing. We've got a bigger audience. We're getting our opinions out there more. We thrive more. And that's what needs to happen. Everyone needs to come together. Yes, I have shows that go out at the same time as the United Stand and at the same time as True Geordie stuff. We know this. And yes, you can argue we compete with one another, but we have to show a united front. We can all grow at the same time. I think there is this underlying opinion that if my viewers see True Geordie stuff, or if True Geordie's viewers see this channel's things, if 90 Min gets seen by the United Stands people too much, we'll lose viewers, we'll lose this. No, there's an ecosystem. People now watch YouTube more than they watch TV, especially the younger generation. The more options they have economically, the bigger it will grow. We had another super chat here. Massive thank you to Mr. McGuinness. He says, I think fan channels are brilliant. I get more info from them than I do the mainstream media. Well, we saw today already, you know, not Ryan Giggs, Rio Ferdinand coming out and condemning an interview that he did. The Mirror tries to say that he has come out and been overtly critical of Ollie, condemning X, Y, and Z. He's come out and literally quote tweeted it. Fake news. It's not what I've said. This is what I've said. You're misquoting me. You're misrepresenting me. As an example, mainstream media lie to us all the time. All the time. The TV companies. You know, the other day we saw Ryan Giggs getting abused because of a question that he was asked by a TV channel that was irrelevant. Why are you even, you know, in relation to Paul Pogba? Giggs got dragged over the coals for it, but why are the channel asking the question anyway? We saw what TalkSport did to AFTV just a few weeks ago. They do not want to share this platform with us. And what we are, we call this fan channels. We need to also start changing that language. And I'm going to start pushing this. We're not fan channels. We are fan media. Facts. We are fan media. And do you know what's interesting? The conglomerates and the big corporates and the big sponsors out there, I don't even think they're that aware of us. If they were, they're missing an absolute trick, because our audiences and our coverage is absolutely massive. And they haven't even scratched the surface yet when it comes to us. A few people asking here, do I get on with Mark Goldbridge? Yeah, me and Mark Goldbridge are cool. And, you know, we met face to face actually at his game against DT. We had a couple of good conversations. We did unblock each other on our personal accounts. And obviously mine's been suspended. I haven't actually done my appeal yet. I just don't have the time. Anyone here who's watching that works at Twitter, sort me out. Literally, it's mad. Do you know what's mad? Someone yesterday sent me a picture of like an incident from the Man United game yesterday, and their account's fine. That's literally what I did. Somebody would send me a picture of or a video footage of something happening, and I'd just like retweet it or I'd share it, and they're spending my account. But anyway, yeah, me and Goldbridge get on absolutely fine. Terry, just hug Mark and make up, bro. We're cool. As I've said, we are really, really cool. Thank you for everybody that's donated via super chat so far. Fan channels are here to stay. I watch fan channels every day, is what Michael says. Absolutely. And as you all know, we're growing and moving on to new levels. We're now working with HotMike. HotMike is one of the most innovative pieces of technology that I've ever come across when you relate to the fan channel sphere. Get it downloaded now for free. It's invitation only. Whether you're an Android user or a iOS Apple user, there's 2 links in our description below. You have to use promo code TFT. come and follow us, the Football Terrace. Our next game that we're covering is Manchester City versus Manchester United. It's an ever-growing platform. It's going to be absolutely massive over the course of 2020, and the feedback that we have received is amazing. And the reason why I tell you to come and watch us there when we do our watch-alongs is what you don't get on YouTube. And you get some great watch-alongs on YouTube. But what you cannot get on YouTube that you do with us on HotMike is you get live, genuine stadium noise, atmosphere, sounds, whistling, booing, fan chants in the background to go along with the content that we create for you. And it's completely free. So get it downloaded now. HotMike, you see the logo up there in the corner. You see all the information. I'm trying to get my fingers right down there. Make sure you get it downloaded. I think we're one of the highest followed, one of the biggest followed people on there now as well, as it starts to grow. I think we're on nearly 500 followers, which is absolutely amazing. Let me just go and have a little check of that now. We actually went past the Redmen TV yesterday, which I was very, very proud of. There's all the information you can see. If I hold that up there, hopefully that will focus itself. This camera never wants to do autofocus anymore. There we go. You can see it though, yeah? Get it downloaded, get involved. There's nothing wrong with showing passion about the game you love, especially after a disappointing result. But people take it too far and too seriously, and that's not more important than life and death. That is what Dean has said here. Dean, you're absolutely right, mate. Some people do take it far too far, far too seriously. And just imagine thinking that the United stand are the reason that Man United are falling apart. Imagine thinking AFTV are the reason that Arsenal sit where they do. Equally, you know, the Redmen TV's stuff is very, very positive. And look, they're great guys there, and I'm not putting them down at all. But the fan base is in a very different situation. You know, a lot of people say they are 10 years old. If you go now and look at their oldest video on their channel, it's from around 2011. There's very little. There's only 2 or 3 bits of content that I think even could plausibly made that are up there now that were from the Hodgson era. Everything is from Brendan Rodgers and beyond that. And the Liverpool's journey from 2011 till now has been absolutely phenomenal. You know, the growth has been there. So, of course, you get far less negativity from fans. And I think if any Liverpool fan was to be negative, the majority of the fan base would shut it down. But let's just say now, from this point, everything started to go sour for Liverpool. In 5, 6, 7 years' time, if it continued to drop every year, you would see a very different reaction on Fancams. Fans would feel very, very differently about their football club, their managers, their players, the owners, as an example. Now, Redmen may decide, and Anfield Wrap, these guys may decide, actually, we're not going to engage with any of the negative thoughts and feelings. But if that was 50%, even if that was 20% of the fan base that felt that way, I don't think you're not demonstrating for me a true reflection of what what the fan base feels if you're not demonstrate. Now, you can challenge people that are being negative, but I still think you have to show an element of it. And the thing is, if you go through the United Stands videos, if you go through AFTV's videos, there's lots of positivity in all of them. People just don't focus on that because it doesn't fit their agenda. Another super chat here from Ashley saying fan media works. Absolutely. I don't agree a lot of the times, but its opinions is what D Miz has said. And that's the whole point, mate. That's it. That's it there in a nutshell, and you've got it absolutely right. It is all about opinion. Absolutely. Like, you know, a lot of people have challenged me about my views on Redmen TV. And by the way, let me reiterate again, in case anybody's confused. Love their platform. They are one of the pioneers of what we all do. They're inspirations to all of us. I have nothing but respect for what they've achieved. But you have to look at the conditions of the football clubs and how the teams are performing. That will echo how fans are. That will echo how that changes the Overton window somewhat. What's deemed acceptable criticism, what isn't. You know, as I said before, look at Man United as one final example. Man United have always had substandard. Okay, that's the wrong word. Let me rephrase this. I want to get the language right. United have always had average players within their squad who definitely weren't good enough to lead the line in their said position for a prolonged period of time. If you think about, so if I'm talking now about the Jesse Lingards of this world, the Pereiras, United have always had players of their quality within their squads. You know, over the years, we've seen the Bebes, the Blomqvists, the David Mays, good football players, but never the stars of the squad or the team. But due to the fact that there's been bad investment, poor investment, and just awful decision-making made for so long, and the club finds itself in this horrible situation, what you find is that we're now abusing and we're now criticising and challenging that. We're annoyed at that level of player that's within this squad, where we never used to be. We were never really annoyed about those kind of, I call them filler players that were in our squads before. The Overton window was like, well, why are we gonna moan about 3 or 4 okay average players when we're winning Premier League titles, FA Cups, Champions Leagues, and we're playing good football? When we have all these beautiful superstars that we love watching, there was no need to focus on them because we now don't have those beautiful superstars and we're not winning. The focus is on those average players. The average players have always been here. It's just that now they've been propelled into the spotlight. So thus the Overton window has changed. Before, you'd have been told to shut your mouth. You'd have been shut down by the fan base in an amicable way for, David May, what's he doing in our squad? Who cares? We've got Jaap Stam and Ronnie Johnson in front and Henningberg in front of him. Why are you bringing that up for? It would have been irrelevant. But now it's like, these guys are leading our lines. These guys are our best players. So everyone's angry. So they're being chastised more. The Overton window has moved. What is and is not acceptable has changed. And that changes based on the environment that you find yourselves in. The environment that Man United are in is due to the running of the football club, not the fans or the fan channels that are expressing their opinions. That, for me, is clear, obvious, and as true as it can be. But listen, everyone who's tuned in today, thank you very, very much as always. As I say, we have been demonetized, so everyone who's put in a little super chat, everyone who's put in a donation to us today, it means a lot. You could also support us by downloading HotMike. Use our promo code TFT, of course that stands for the Football Terrace, and please come and follow us. Every single one of you that does that is massive. Of course, we're going to be going live for the Manchester City Man United game on Tuesday. Also going to be live after the Merseyside derby today. So, yeah, really looking forward to covering that game later on. But until then, take care of yourselves. God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.